The core of it is about looking out for the poor.
And that's when he responded to me with the now infamous words.
Who he could have been if he lived more than 25 years.
And Shalane was doing the same, and then we hear all hell break loose. That's when we heard the gunshots.
When Tupac Shakur was murdered in cold blood, he was just 25 years old, and the night that ended with one of hip-hop's biggest tragedies had started as what might have been just like any other, filled with party, booze, and a boxing match.
September 7th, 1996, Las Vegas, Nevada. Mike Tyson had just knocked out Bruce Seldon in the first round at the MGM Grand. The Strip was packed, the biggest fight of the year was over, but something else was just beginning. Somewhere on the streets of Las Vegas, a white Cadillac was closing in.
I got in the car with the homies, yeah, and we ran into them, went up to the light on Sunset and Flamingo.
The car drove up alongside a black BMW carrying Tupac Shakur, one of the biggest stars in the world.
And we was the first ones.
Yeah.
Luckiest one, I guess. Hit that corner, gave a little chase, boom, boom, boom.
At least 12 shots were fired. 4 hit Tupac Shakur. And 6 days later, on September 13th, 1996, Tupac Shakur was pronounced dead.
Now, his stepbrother Mopreme Shakur has spoken up about how he felt watching his beloved brother's murder go unsolved for almost 3 decades, while those who were around him either flourished in their own careers or left reeling. He spoke about the true message of Tupac's artistry and how it was born as a result of their life's experiences.
His brother Mopreme Shakur says all these years later, people still confuse what his brother meant by thug life.
The core of it is about looking out for the poor, the disenfranchised, and the kids. If you don't look out for the kids, they could turn out to be a monster. A lot of times, kids in these communities are forgotten about, left out, shorted.
Tupac's music explored themes about poverty, street violence, black liberation, and the love between a mother and son.
Tupac grew up in poverty, in a time where hip-hop might have been on the rise, but the racial inequality was still rife.
Tupac lived a version of the American dream, as well as an American nightmare. He was a young black man who unchained himself from extreme poverty. His school friends say his nose was always in a book, always learning, but it was his music and acting that set him apart.
Tupac was extremely passionate, very honest, and raw in his approach to communicating.
He became a world-famous icon of a then-emerging genre of music, hip-hop, only to be gunned down at just 25 years old near a Las Vegas street corner. Retired Las Vegas Police Lieutenant Chris Carroll was first on the scene that September day.
I ended up pulling Tupac out of the car. I spoke to him. He was still alive, he was still breathing. I was asking him who did it, who shot him, what happened, and that's when he responded to me with the now infamous words.
Right now, Tupac's brother will stop at nothing to finally see justice for the brother he misses every day. Even today, it has been far too long and far too late as his murderers walked free for decades believing they had gotten away with it. But seeing a result is better than seeing nothing.
Now, police say they finally arrested his killer, the uncle of the initial prime suspect.
My thoughts are, yeah, this information has been out there. What took so long? It's a type of victory, you know. It's bittersweet still. Stay tuned. I miss my brother. You know what I mean? At the end of all of that, I miss my brother. So, you know, I'm glad something's happened.
Those close to the case say reliving the tragedy hasn't been easy.
It has been rough, as it would be for anyone revisiting a situation like this. You know, over the years we have found ways to cope with the trauma, with the drama, and try to still continue on and have a full life, you dig?
The judge will rule on that evidence tomorrow morning, right before jury selection officially kicks off.
It's not just his brother who wants justice. His sister, Keefe Shakur, has also spoken up about the ongoing trial. In light of the trial, she spoke about Tupac's influence on the industry, considering he revolutionized rap in a way that can be felt even 27 years later.
I think what the universal we will never know who he could have been if he lived more than 25 years. The 25 years that he did live, I think we all do know who he is. If you ever laughed with him, if you've ever seen him smile, it's a gift and it touched your life. He was truly, in my eyes, our shining prince. Unfortunately, our family, because of the history of America and our family's history here, we have no expectations or low expectations of the criminal system ever. We've never had any expectations for the criminal system to hunt down someone for my brother's murder.
Sakiwa also made it clear that being from a family of Black liberation movement fighters, they knew quite well that the police would never make any meaningful effort to find who murdered Tupac, because they just didn't care. Even considering his icon status, it was the truth they had seen over and over again, even if she basically considered him a prophet.
I personally believe that my brother was a zeitgeist for our generation. I believe that he was an actual human being that lived actual human experiences, and the experiences that he lived, he had actual feelings about and actual emotions about, and he shared them with the world. And his experience wasn't that different from the average human being's experience. Everybody's experienced pain and sorrow and trauma and loss and joy and the love of a woman, or the anger of an enemy, or the care for the community. And because he spoke to such basic human emotions and instances, I believe his message and his care, I'm going to use the word care, will always be relevant. I always compare him to any of the prophets that any of the religions want to, use as an example of a good human being.
Yet another person eager to see Keefe D's plans foiled is a woman who was next to the BMW when Tupac was shot down. Ingrid Johnson was with 3 of her friends when they found themselves next to the rap legend. Except what should have been an exciting moment turned into a horror story.
And when we passed, I think it was close to where the MGM was, we see the famous BMW, Suge, and Tupac pulled over on the side of, I think could have been the MGM, by the cops. But she said, pull over, pull up. I want to talk to Suge and see what they're doing. And so Shalane was driving at the time. I was in the passenger seat. Tanisha was behind me, and then Lauren was on the driver backside. And so Shalane pulled up past the car, their car, and she said, hey, Suge. And then Suge, I don't know, I guess we were driving slow. We weren't stopped, I don't think. But we were driving slow, and she said, hey, what y'all doing? And she started talking, interacting with Suge.
She detailed how one of her friends had known Suge Knight, which was why they had been talking to the rapper and been next to their car.
Why she said, what are you doing? He said, we're going to the club, follow us. And the club, in hindsight, I remember now, but I know it's area code. Let me drive, and then I'll drive. I have a good sense of direction, so it would have been normal for me to take over that kind of thing, and I'm a more defensive driver. So we pulled on the other side, and me and Shalane's right here in the driver's seat, I'm right here, and me and Shalane were turned down. I was unbuckling my seat just like that, and Shalane was doing the same, and then we hear all hell break loose. That's when we heard the gunshots.
Just as they were almost at the club, they heard gunshots. Considering the times, Ingrid's first thought was to just get out of there rather than the implications of what was going on. This was a time when gangs and police brutality both ran rampant.
And so I put the car in drive, and it was like, go, while she is down, right? And so she puts the foot on the gas, and then we almost bump a white car. Turns out that's the car. We almost bumped it. We almost literally ran into the other car. I never looked up. All I saw was this much of the white car. So I'm like, go, go, go. Sorry, my language. And so I turn, right? And we're turning on the street. And I'm like, at the same time, I feel like the car in front of us we almost hit was like trying to hit, like do something with us. I couldn't feel what was going on because I didn't know what was happening or what I just missed, but I knew it wasn't a good thing. So I was like, turn. There was a street coming up to the left. I was like, turn down that street because I still feel like they're shooting. So we turned down the street and we're freaking, which my energy is going like this because, of course, I remember we're all freaking out and we're in shock.
While those close to Tupac consider whether he would finally get justice, there are others talking about the one who is on trial for orchestrating his murder, Keefe D. His evil plans have gone sideways as more and more people speak up about how he deserves everything coming to him. Others say that the actual mastermind has still gotten away and he was more of an errand boy.
What do you think will happen at the end of this trial?
I think that Keefe D, based on everything I've researched, I think that he talked himself into, or he positioned himself into a situation to where his ass is grass. He's in trouble. If you, I don't want to see him go to prison because Keefe D he was a do boy. He was a pawn on the chessboard. Keefe D going to prison. He would be going to prison for being stupid and talking too much. He would be going to prison because he divulged too many details about a situation that somebody somewhere would have loved to solve. Somebody somewhere would love to get that cold case off the books. So I think that in his quest to be famous and to be a personality, I think that he talked himself, he walked himself into that indictment. The book, everything, all the interviews he did. I don't think he did himself a favor.
His arrest video was even released by TMZ.
Hey Keith, Metro Police, come over here. Hey Metro Police, come over here, all right? Thanks, buddy. Come on over here. Appreciate your cooperation, okay? I'll stand right here in front of the car. Yep. Nope, we're going to put it down. I know, hang on. Put that down for a second, all right? You got another on you, right? Hooks. You have anything on you, sir? No. Thirsty? Okay, yeah, we'll get you a drink. Hang on, all right? Just want to make sure you got no weapons on you or anything, okay? I'll separate the two, sir. Thank you. Put your palms together like you're clapping. I just want to make sure these cuffs can be all right on you. Yep.
Others think it has nothing to do with stupidity. Keefe D knew exactly what he was doing when he confessed to the murder and described it multiple times. He simply hoped law enforcement wouldn't care about it, considering the confusion and how much time had passed. Most of the people who were in the car with him at the time are already dead anyways.
I guess Suge had a thing for black cars that night. So we went over on the side of him, and we seen him, and out there she wrote.
And I read in the book you said that it looked like you guys rolled up and Pac reached.
Looked like he was reaching, yeah, it looked like he was ready to bust our ass. And she like, we was the first one, shit.
Yeah.
Luckiest one, I guess. Hit that corner, gave a little chase, boom, boom, boom. Got the busing, we bust back, and jumped up out that motherfucker Cadillac, put the gun on the tire, got the on.
He even sold out his nephew Orlando Anderson, who was the prime suspect at the time, and was later gunned down in a separate shootout.
Keefe D is the only one still alive that was allegedly in that car. Authorities have long believed it was Keefe D's nephew Orlando who pulled the trigger to get revenge from being jumped by Tupac, Suge Knight, and their crew after the Mike Tyson fight, which was the reason they were all in Vegas that night in the first place.
And on this incident, you will see Tupac Shakur, who's wearing a shiny satiny shirt, along with Marion Suge Knight, who's a large man in a brown suit, punching and kicking Orlando Anderson. Following this incident, you'll see hotel security intervene, and then they will leave the area of the fight.
It took years for investigators to piece it all together, mainly because of the street code. You know, no snitching, and no one talked for years.
He also brought up Diddy before, talking about how he had protected him from Suge.
What?
So I want to backtrack. You said that you was on top of the world until you met Puffy. What you mean by that?
Man, shit, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man, balling, man. Fuck, didn't nobody know about me. My shit was smooth, dude. My shit was laid out smooth, man. I met your motherfucking ass, and all the heat and thunder coming around with your motherfucking ass, man. I gave him a, you know what I'm saying, a pass through my town, man. Gave him a pass through my town. Boosie be talking that shit. Remember, Boosie talked that shit? Mother, you got to check in, motherfucker. And I was one of the ones you had to check in with, man. Yeah, you passed through my town, made sure you was unscarred, made sure you know what I'm saying? You was straight. Biggie probably would still be here if you wouldn't have said the FBI was following us. You know what I'm saying? So we all would have rolled out together, you know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, Tupac's cousin has also quickly spoken out to ensure Keefe D can't run any more schemes while in prison. Everyone is scrambling to keep him because he was once a member of the South Compton Crips along with Orlando, the same gang that was alleged to have celebrated when they learned about Tupac's death. The same ones who claimed Diddy actually paid them to get rid of Tupac and Suge Knight.
Well, Tupac's mom and my mom are sisters. I'm his first cousin, I'm his oldest cousin. 30 years now, 30 years from then to now, it all comes home. Like it's been 30 years in the waiting. It's been 30 years of trauma, grief, anger, depression, all culminated to today where now we sit in the courtroom listening to the jury selection for the trial of Keefe D, person who was accused of masterminding my cousin's murder 30 years ago.
Did you ever think in the last 30 years we would see this day?
No, I never thought that we would see this day, but here we are. I'm here as an observer. I like to see how this plays out. I like to see if it's done correctly. And you know, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to still be alive. I'm happy to be able to come here and witness everything that's unfolding right before our eyes.
He talked about how his aunt and Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur, who died before she could see this day, would have felt.
Well, my aunt was more concerned with preserving his legacy. My aunt was more concerned with helping children in his name. You know, helping children find solace and peace and avoiding violence that her son met untimely at a young age. So that was her life mission. Her life's mission was to help kids learn creativity skills, coping skills, but also to have a place where they didn't have to confront the violence that her son did.
Charleston White straight up said that Keefe D deserves to stay in jail for the rest of his life, and that will end up being his sentence no matter what he tries to pull. White said it was his pride and ego that led Keefe D here.
Oh, they wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this point, he's in his early 60s. Whatever they give him is going to be life.
Yeah, he might as well go and play, Triple OG Southside Crip down there. You might as well just go and walk it all the way out now. Because I know he got some ailments that's kind of hurting him. I found the guy very fascinating, so I used to watch him when he used to walk in the neighborhood playing pawpaw.
Are you willing to talk about what's in the book? And they said yes. You know, him and his co-writer. I said, okay, let's do it.
Pride and ego. We ain't seen too many gangsters take it to the grave in silence. When Vlad TV came along, for whatever reason, this become a vault of history. I tell people that all the time.
Part of the reason Mopreme Shakur wants this to finally end is having to relive the trauma of his brother's death over and over again. He lost his stepmother, he recently lost his father, and now he'll see a play-by-play discussion of his brother's cold-blooded shooting again as the opening statements roll around.
It's bittersweet for a number of reasons. The time, of course, 27 years, and it didn't have to be this way. You know, it didn't have to happen at all. You know, I hate even have to live with the reality that my brother's not here. Justice is accountability. That's the sweet part. It's bittersweet, but you know, some form of accountability and brace. I'm bracing for, because it ain't over. You know, we have yet to see, you know, we still got to see if there's accomplices, and we still got to see the motive.
Has the Vegas PD been in contact with you and your family at all during this investigation?
Finally, yeah.
During those 2.5 hours, you will learn that the defendant was escalating and planning the retribution for the beating of his beloved nephew. Now, let's be clear. Dwayne Davis did not pull the trigger. But what he did do was plan the retaliation for the beating of his nephew. You will learn that Dwayne Davis got the gun. You will learn that he got into a white Cadillac. You will learn when the opportunity presented itself for retribution, Duane Davis made sure that the shooters were armed and ready to execute their revenge. And remarkably, you will learn that from Duane Davis himself.
Of course, there have been those who claim Keefe D actually did pretend he was the mastermind for money. One example is Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal, who claims Tupac and another rap legend, Biggie Smalls, were killed by the same person. After all, soon after Tupac's murder, even Suge Knight said that if you solve one murder, you solve them both.
That was something, that was all West Coast, bruh. That was all in-house. If you ask me, that was all in-house.
So you believe Tupac and Biggie murder was in-house?
I believe Biggie and Tupac was in-house. All had something to do with death row people.
That's a very strong comment to make, man.
Listen, it came from their own mouth. DJ Quick. I think they got one of them bad boy niggas. They said they was gonna get him. Who was they? Had to be death row. Somebody affiliated with them. Somebody he was around there. Who Pac had problems with? People at death row. He was firing people. Suge was firing people. He didn't want to deal with them no more.
What is the truth and what's the lie? We'll have to wait and see whether the truth comes out during this trial or if some details will lay dead forever. Will Tupac finally get justice or will Keefe D walk free again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and like and subscribe.